Are you an author looking to boost your book sales on Amazon? In today's video, we'll dive into the world of Amazon KDP ads, exploring how to effectively promote your books and reach a wider audience. Amazon's advertising platform offers powerful tools like sponsored products and sponsored brands, allowing you to showcase your work prominently in the Amazon store. We'll guide you through setting up your first campaign, optimizing your ads for maximum visibility, and understanding the nuances of targeting the right readers. Whether you're a seasoned author or just starting out, mastering Amazon KDP ads can significantly enhance your marketing strategy. Stay tuned as we break down the steps to create compelling ads that capture attention and drive sales. So, there's a query going on the internet about ads to organic ratio. What's the perfect ratio? And should it be 50% organic, 50% ads, or something different? Now, even though that is a very good question, there's something that you need to understand about ads before I answer that question for you. So we know that there's two ways to gather sales on Amazon, whether through ads or organically. So what does that mean? It means that if you search for a book, let's say you search for how to draw a book for kids, and then a bunch of search results are going to pop up. You're going to have the title, subtitle, the price, and all the other things that are included in the search results. Now, when you pay for ads, that means you're paying Amazon to show up really high. Sometimes in the middle, but usually you pay to show up your book right at the top of the page. So, the first two results are usually ads. Now, as soon as someone sees this top result and they click on the ad, that means you might pay anywhere from 20 cents to around $1.80. But it all depends on your niche and on so many different factors. I'm not saying you should go and run ads at $1.80 cost per click. I'm just saying that's a possibility depending on your niche, your book, and how well you're doing. Now, usually the top ones are advertisers, but the ones at the bottom are free, which means they're organic because you don't have to pay for it. Now, the same thing applies when you actually click on a book. When you click on a book, you're going to see the big book cover, title, subtitle, the buy button, and the description. Beneath these details, you're going to see a bunch of carousels. So the two carousels will contain a bunch of different books within, and you can scroll through them. But one of these carousels are all sponsored products, which means they're ads and the authors are paying to show up here. Now the carousel underneath the one that's paid is usually organic, which means it's free if someone clicks on it. The publisher doesn't have to pay for that click. It's organic, so you can either get paid clicks and then convert them into sales, or you can get organic clicks, which are free, and you can then convert them into sales. Here's the thing, most people want organic sales because they're free. But the only way you can get organic sales is if you show up really high in the search results or show up in the correct places in the search results. So how do you do that? Well, before you can get your organic sales, this is what you need to understand. There's a reason when you launch a new book, we call it a book launch, because we're launching it just like we launch a rocket. Now, let's say this is a rocket. Down here, it's sitting on the ground. Now, eventually this rocket is going to go all the way up and break the sky barrier. After that, it's going to start going into the clouds. Now, is the rocket going to stop in the clouds? Obviously not. That's not the point of a rocket. The point of a rocket is to go into the space. Now, what does a rocket need in order to get from the ground to space? That's fuel. The rocket needs fuel. If the rocket has fuel, then it has enough power or energy required to push it all the way up to get to space. Now, when the rocket ship gets to space, does it need fuel? No, it doesn't. Because it already built enough momentum to get into space, the space will carry it along for free. So the space is your organic sale, and PPC is actually your fuel. When you just launch a book, you don't have any organic sales because you're not just going to go to space randomly. Just like that, you're not going to get a bunch of organic sales if you just launch a book and leave it alone. You need to give it some momentum first, which is why I have a 3-phase PPC strategy for launching new books. Now the initial phase is phase 1. In phase 1, our purpose is to use the fuel to get the rocket at least to the sky or the clouds. So phase 1 will help you cover this ground. You can look at how big the initial distance is. This is big because phase 1 is the most important part. It's the hardest part to get the rocket ship from ground floor to the sky. It requires the most amount of fuel, which is why phase 1 can take 30 days or even 50 days. It all depends on your niche, how much traffic it has, and a bunch of different factors. Right now, what matters is that you need phase 1 just to launch your rocket or launch your book from ground level to the sky level. This is why I use launch campaigns. Once phase 1 is finished, the rocket ship will still need boost to get up to the space level. Now, what is happening right here? When you launch a rocket, what happens at sky level and space level is that there's need of just a bit of a push. You need to apply a little push in order to reach space. So what do? You just need to use extra boosters, which is why I create phase 2 campaigns every week, and it helps boost my book. Now, phase 2 is usually super quick. Within 30 days, you'll be already gathering enough sales and enough data to start switching to organic, which is why you can see how long the initial path is, while phase 2 is short. Now, if I've run phase 1 ads correctly and phase 2 ads correctly, then I'm going to slowly break the pressure of the atmosphere. I'm just going to use my boosters to boost my book, to increase my organic percentage, and then eventually I'm going to get to space. Now in space, phase 3 will be initiated. This is basically when we don't need the fuel. We've already broken past the pressure, and now we can enjoy our profit. In phase 3, it's so easy to gather profit because all we have to do is optimize. As we've already spent all our money getting through phase 2, now we could enjoy the fruits of our labor and the profit. This is because in space, we don't need fuel to travel. We're just traveling for free without any money needed. Because we've already built the momentum in the previous phases, we don't need extra energy to go through space. Now most publishers don't implement this strategy because they're very short-sighted. In fact, most publishers are actually losing money on PPC. But here's what it's supposed to look like. You're supposed to have many sales at the start because your book is brand new and you're still in the period where you're just trying to launch your book. This is the hardest, the longest, and the worst period. Now in month 2, you might see a dramatic increase because you've been launching and you've been gaining momentum. As soon as you flip to phase 2, you're going to see a massive increase and you're going to start to slowly see those organic sales. So you're going to see a slow switch between PPC and organic sales. Then again, you might have a bad month and go back to a little bit lower sale. Now it's all hypothetical, but it's all trusted and works in real life sales as well. In the initial stages, make sure to expect to lose some money on the ads. For example, you may lose money in the first 2 months. But during this period, phase 2 ads will be launched. So everything from here on will make you money. You only lose money for 2 months in order to keep making money for 6 months. Now, note that you're going to have a really bad first month because in the first month, your goal isn't to make a profit and get as many sales as possible. You have different goals at different phases. Remember, the rocket is only trying to get off the ground at the start. Once it's off the ground, it's trying to use the extra boosters to get it through the pressure of the atmosphere. And only once it passed the pressure of the atmosphere and got into space, it will start collecting organic sales, moving by itself. Anyways, thanks for watching. We hope you found our deep dive into Amazon KDP ads informative and inspiring. If you find this video helpful, make sure to leave a like, and I'll meet you in the next one. Thanks.